Hi, it's Neil at Italia Autos here. Welcome back to another episode. Behind me I have a GTV V6. Quite a nice example. It does require a lot of work underneath because unfortunately the dreaded rust worm is set in. So we are going to be doing a lot of welding in this video. So hope you enjoy it. One thing to add before we get going is just a reminder about Patreon. I have now set up a Patreon page where you can subscribe to and get early release videos, pictures of the projects that are going on, and I will also answer any technical questions on there. So if you want to head over there and have a look at what's going on and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. Now, this is going to be quite a long involved process. We've got to take the side skirt off, but in order to take the side skirt off, we've got to remove the trim for the interior kick panel, and we need to remove half of the door seal. So I'm going to get cracking on stripping all that down, and then we can get on to seeing how much rust there is. Now the side skirt's off, I want to take the rear arch cover out and the rear wheel off just so I can see what it's like behind there as well. Okay, the arch nailer has now been removed. It's mainly not too bad. It's just around here and then pretty much underneath all the way along. So let's have a run along that. Big hole there. Big hole all the way along there. And also on the floor pan, pretty much, if I can get you to see that, all the way along. Luckily, the customer has supplied me with some new panels. Not sure whether they're genuine or not. I haven't looked at them too deeply yet. They do look genuine to me, so I'm hoping that we can cut these repair panels up and use the bottom half of them to repair the majority of the rust damage. There is also going to be some fabrication work behind here, and also I'm going to need to make some patch panels to repair the floor. So it's a massive job I've got to undertake, so let's get started by grinding it back and seeing what we've got to work with leftover spot welds and things like that. Okay, so what I've done here, I have just used a wire brush attachment on my grinder, grinded the paint away so I can reveal the spot welds all the way around it. Those have pretty much disappeared there, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of fancy work to get those out, and I can see most of them along the sill. So I'm going to start by drilling those out. As the bottom of it is in 3 panels, I'm just going to start this end because this is going to be the worst of it, I'm hoping, and then reveal how much I need to cut off. There we go, part 1 removed. As you can see, we're going to have to cut this out along here, make a new panel. We're going to have to cut all this off along here and weld the new panel. But first of all, I want to remove all the rust first, and I need to remove all the interior to get to the floor pan and cut the floor pan out. But there's not going to be much left of this side once I'm finished. Okay, it's now the next day. I've cut out the floor pan all the way along under there. It still needs tidying up along there. I need to cut a little bit more off that end because I couldn't see too well, and I've not done the best of cuts, so I'm going to cut that a little bit further out and make a much nicer patch than that there. So yeah, that's my stupid fault for not concentrating enough when cutting that part out. Still got to cut out some more rust along here. But now I'm going to repair this sill part first. Make sure I've got rid of all the rust, make sure it's all nice and clean, ready to take the patch that I have just made. And that's the patch there. So we're going to start welding that in a minute. I just need to clean the patch up first. Okay, the patch is now all been cleaned up. I'm now just going to hold it in place with a couple of pairs of pliers. Okay, first patch done. Grinded all my welds down. It's pretty smooth. A little bit of a raised edge at the top there, just because it's quite hard to get in there with the grinder. So that's all nice and strong. And once we put the floor pan in and the sill on, it'll be lovely and stiff and like new. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to repair this patch here now. I've ground roughly around it, so I know which is good metal, which is bad metal. So I now need to mask it off so I can cut it out with a grinder. Let's just tidy up around the area here now. Let's swap the grinding discs over. So that's the edges all cleaned up now. It's time to make a patch. Okay, using the old part as a template. Just to give you a rough line there. And now swap grinding discs over again and we'll cut that out. Okay, it's going to want some trimming more than likely, but let's see how well it fits. And now you can see where the paint hasn't attached to the metal. That's where I need to grind out. Slide under a little bit at the top there, but as long as down here is all nice and smooth, you can get away with a little bit of a setback on that, because there's nothing going to be touching it the other side. So now we're on to the hardest part, which is here. Now pretty much finished the sill. It still needs some tidying up and rust treating. There we go. We've also built that bracket at the end. It wasn't too difficult, to be honest. I just need to tighten it up. That's just tacked on at the moment, so we'll need to align it up when the sill panel is about to go on. But yeah, it's moving pretty fast. It's near the end of day 3, been a busy bunny today. I've not recorded anything, just purely for the facts of it's just more welding work. I think you'd probably get sick of a whole video of welding. So what I've done now, I've welded the floor patches in. I've made them all up, welded them all in. The welds need grinding down still and it all needs under sealing. I have rust protected inside the sill. I have welded on at the top half of the sill. Now that was a 3-piece section, so that's all been welded on along the top half. What I've still got to do is I've got to drill some holes in the bottom of the sill, match everything up, and then weld all those in. I have found that at some point in its life it has had a bit of a bump on the bottom of the sill there, so I need to make that sill match with the rest of it. So a little bit of extra work there that I wasn't planning on having to do. But yeah, it's been a very big job, and it's been, what, 22 hours on this now. So I think we've probably got another day to go, and then paint work if the customer wants it painting. So there you go, end of the episode. Thanks for watching. I was hoping that this would be a single episode restoration, but it's going to be far too long. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So hopefully it's going to be just a two-parter. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and give me a comment below and let me know what you think. And I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.